This absolutely tragic story broke just before we got off the air on Friday, and it has garnered national and worldwide attention since then. And that is the loss of Missouri Representative Ben Baker, District 160, at a Neosho. His daughter and his son-in-law passing away, getting killed by a gang in Haiti, where they were serving as missionaries. Representative Baker, kind enough to join us here in what has been, I got to imagine, an incredibly emotional several days here on KCMO 95.7 FM. Ben, thank you for the time. Just start off with, broadly speaking, what these last few days have been like for you, your family, and what you want to make sure the people of Kansas City and Missouri know right now in terms of what you have been going through.
Sure. Thanks for having me on, Pete. It's been the most difficult thing we've ever faced. There's no blueprint for it, just trying to kind of a moment by moment ebb and flow of grieving, and then in this situation trying to work through the process still in Haiti and trying to get our kids home. And so it's been extremely difficult.
What led them to serve and become missionaries down in Haiti specifically? Why there? Why did they choose there? What's their story for how long they had been there and why Haiti?
Sure. So Davey grew up there. His mom and dad have been there for 24, 25 years in Haiti and have served there. Even when Davey was 5 years old, him and his sister were both kidnapped in Haiti and miraculously returned within 24 hours, and the Lloyds continue to serve there. They have an orphanage, they have a Christian school, they have a church. And so Davey, the people of Haiti were just as much his home as here in the States. Then later met Natalie in Bible school, and they fell in love. And, before they pursued that relationship to marriage, we encouraged Natalie to go visit Haiti. She did for a couple of weeks, came home. And I'll never forget her beaming with a big smile when I asked her, what do you think? How did it go? Can you do this? And she said, Dad, I fell in love with Haiti. So they had such a heart for ministry there. And they, after they got married, decided to go back and continue to work in that mission. So that's why Haiti.
Have the issues in Haiti the last few years, has it gotten more violent? I mean, we know it's always had its issues, and that's why we're, all blessed to have people like your late daughter and son-in-law who are down there serving as missionaries. But had they noted at all that it had gotten significantly more violent in recent years?
Sure. So Haiti, unfortunately, just, it's a way of life for them. The gangs and all of the way that it works down there, the corruption and all that. But yes, it had escalated in, the past few months, and with just there's no government in place, and all the factors going on down there, and even to the point where the airport was shut down. They could have come out. They decided to stay because they didn't want to leave the kids in their care, and that was a difficult thing for us, but we trusted their judgment and supported them in that decision. It was their life, and unfortunately it turned out the way that it did. But we're proud of Davey and Natalie for their selfless sacrifice and deep love and devotion for the people.
Missouri State Representative Ben Baker is here on KCMO out of Neosho after his story went worldwide here over the last few days, announcing on Friday in a Facebook post that he lost his daughter and his son-in-law, Davey and Natalie Lloyd, who were full-time missionaries down there in Haiti after a gang attack took place. What has the process been like? I know some of us have been following on social media, getting them back to Missouri. What has that process been like for you in trying to get your daughter back to your hometown?
Sure. So it's difficult, as you might imagine, with just the chaos in Haiti. It exacerbates everything, trying to get the documents and everything in place. Just getting them from the compound to where they're at now, near the embassy, was just a painstaking process and a roller coaster of emotions, and the security issue and all the things involved. And so that process is still going on, and they're still there. But it looks like we have a plan. We have an airline that is committed to bring them home this week if all the documents and everything is able to be completed. And so that's our next biggest step, in just, getting home and be able to services and closure.
And has there been help? It sounds like there has been help from some on the statewide level, whether it's Senators Hawley and Schmidt and others. What role can they play? Are they continuing to play to make sure that this does end up happening for you and your family?
Yes, our congressional delegation has been fantastic. They worked so hard in trying to do everything that they possibly can to help in this. And we've had just an unbelievable, overwhelming outpouring of support from our community, our friends and family, people from all over the state and even the world, wanting to help and, giving to try to help get them back home and all the things involved. So we so do appreciate that. Got a call from President Trump last night to Naomi and I and the family, just expressing his condolences and his heartfelt sorrow for the situation, and how much, how beautiful the kids were when he saw their pictures. And just, I truly believe there's so many people that absolutely care about that and care about our families. And it's been a great encouragement to us in the midst of all of this.
Were you surprised when you received that call from former President Trump and heard he wanted to speak to you and your family?
I wasn't really surprised, that he called. I think he does care about people. I think, that's the reason why he called. Of course, it was just a surreal moment. I get a call that says no caller ID, and I've been getting so many calls and texts that, it's just another one to me. And so I run back to a quiet place in the house and answer the call, and he just said, "Ben, this is Donald Trump," and just so down to earth the way he talked, and you could feel the emotion and the pain in his voice. And it was just one more thing that was encouraging to us, to know that so many people have heard Davey and Natalie's story, and that's what we want. We want their story to be told.
How do you explain to people who just, listen, they struggle to comprehend and understand putting themselves in that position? I think there's a lot of people that probably are listening or have seen their story, and they're also inspired by it, but they're also like, hey, gosh, why didn't, especially with what's going on there the last few months, why not come back? Why not? But obviously you touched on it, the attachment they had to the people they were helping. How do you explain that to people who still might be, perplexed or just really not understand what they felt like they were there to do and who they felt like they were there to help?
I think it's difficult to understand without a deep understanding of faith and dedication to, first and foremost, to our Creator. We dedicated our kids to the Lord when they were born, and offered them up to Him and saying, whatever your will is for their life, wherever that may take them, we're willing to support that. And that's a difficult thing when it comes to something like this, and you have to deal with that decision. But I still believe that God has a plan that's far greater than ours, even though I can't understand it, especially right now. But I do know that their impact is unbelievable already. They've reached millions of people with this, and I truly believe that their example is going to spark a renewed interest in, especially this younger generation, of how important missions work is. I've been involved in that my entire life, and I think it rubbed off on my kids. But selflessness is such a rare thing in this day and time, especially among the younger generation. And Davey and Natalie were just so exceptional in that way. They didn't care about things. They didn't care about a lot of the things that people focus so much on now in our day and time, but they cared about people.
It's well said. What can people do? I know there's been a lot of, it's sad to say, but a lot of people trying to scam others off of your family's tragedy. What do you want to make sure people know about that? And I know there's a couple of ways that people can help. But what should they know on that front as they continue to hear your story?
Sure, it's just awful how sometimes, and I've never experienced this, but how people can be just so awful in this kind of situation. But there's only two GoFundMe's that people have set up, friends and family, and those. And one is from Jeremy Bridges, and that is our pastor. And then there's another by Chris Slinkard and Dirk Deaton, which Dirk is a fellow representative of mine, good friend, and Chris is a dear friend of ours. That's the only two legitimate GoFundMe's that I know of. And then with the funeral home, it's Clark's Funeral Home. They will have a link up that people can give to, and that we're directing everything through the funeral home. If people give through the funeral home, that money and support will go to missions in Haiti.
Very good. Ben Baker, Missouri State Representative on KCMO Talk Radio, sharing this story that has gone worldwide. Here in the last few days after his announcement on Facebook on Friday with the loss of his daughter and son-in-law from Haitian gangs. They were down there serving as missionaries. And, Ben, we so appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your day to join us here on KCMO Talk Radio. And thank you for your time. We're praying for you and your family, and we appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me on, Pete. Have a great day.
You as well. Ben Baker on KCMO. He's a state representative out of Neosho, just south of Joplin, Newton County.